Hi, loves. Welcome in. Welcome to Snow's Scary Adventures again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I just wanted to let you know that today is going to be slightly different. Obviously, aside from the fact that it's an earlier podcast, even though I have one guest, I might have more than one guest because we have a dear, our dear guest has her little puppy that's running around and she's very attached to her mama. So I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing the puppy come about too. So just an FYI as we're starting this. With that said, today I'm going to be welcoming Pallak Malhotra. Um, going to be welcoming her with a story that started in her childhood. She's had a few, but um, let's just say field trips and Pallak probably aren't the best idea. But we'll get into that later. But that's what we're talking about today on Snow Scary Adventures.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Pallak?
I'm
You're
good.
good. You're feeling better. Feeling
I
like all of that was taken care of. I made an
Yep.
announcement like before. I was just like, "We'll be out about 10 minutes."
I
Um,
came back in
just
10
because,
minutes.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, "We're only out about 10 minutes due to the fact that we're making sure that the puppy's okay."
She's fine. She's chilling. She's just well rested. She's like, okay, I've done my duties. Now we're done. Now you may do your duties.
There you go. That's cute. All right, so I know we've been kind of going back and forth just a little bit, but
Mm.
you even provided some photos for me. I don't know if you noticed, but I only used the one because of the story that you kind of let me know.
Yeah.
So I only used the one, but I do know that there's multiple stories.
Mm.
Um, and then when we were talking earlier, you said that you grew up with a very spiritual family as is. So how about let's start with that. Let's start with how you're raised, how you're, what your understanding of spirituality is in the first place and things like that.
Um, so I grew up in a very it's like I follow like Hinduism mostly, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I would say it's not really like entirely like Hinduism because there's like I also follow a little bit of Buddhism principles here and there too. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like prayers either like on a bonfire, some like that we kind of do on certain like holidays. Even when our relatives pass, we still kind of like give thanks to them,
Mm-hmm.
so give them like offerings. So it's kind of been like how my mom's been raised, how my grandmother and my nanny kind of raised us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what kind of like changed. That's kind of like what grounded me mostly
Mm-hmm.
into like understanding like spirits and like the astral plane and like the levels of like heaven and hell kind of a thing. So at least I was able to like have like a good general understanding, but it's not like so much where it's like it's like very forced on you. It's like you can kind of like make your path, like
Right.
you can, like kind of experience it in your own way.
Right. So,
Yeah.
uh, they made it very clear that there is a spiritual aspect to life,
Mm.
basically,
Yeah.
right? That there's the spiritual side, and then
Mm.
there's the 3D, 4D, whatever maybe,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So my question is like,
Mm.
did your I'm sorry, I don't know what you called her. Your
Uh,
grandma. What did you
my
call?
nanny.
Nani. Okay, your
Yeah, she's
nani.
on my mom's side.
Okay, so did your nani and did your mom teach you like that there were also like spirits that you could encounter and things like that too?
My mom is very like my mom is very sensitive to spirits as well too. I
Oh,
think she
okay.
also worked in Bloomingdale's at one point, like when she was there at the time, like kind of like when we kind of came to this like to New York and everything.
Uh-huh.
So I was raised here, and she got a job in Bloomingdale, so she was able to encounter spirits as well too. But the thing with her and me is like they don't say anything to us. So like they're around her. They just didn't say anything. Like she
Like
just
she could
didn't.
just recognize that it was something that wasn't
Yeah, she
here.
recognized it was like there was something there, but she was like, okay, you mind your own business. I'm doing my thing. That was the encounter, and this was in the basement of Bloomingdale's.
Oh wow. I would
Yeah.
we're
Like
good.
that,
We're
like
good.
it's really old and like
Yeah, it is
super
old. It's a very
like
old.
that
Yeah.
history is like, oh my god. It's like I know that there's stories where like workers even they're in the basement. Like I've heard from them because my mom has like I think like a coworker or something like that. So usually they don't really talk about it, but it's like from what I hear, it's like I just like perk up a bit. And
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
one of those people too. I'm like, what do you mean you saw something? What?
I was like, let me just kind of like listen into this, you know, like this could be useful. Some juicy
Some juicy
stories.
stories. Yeah, some campfire stories. Why not? You never know. You never know when you want to entertain somebody with a conversation. I think
Yeah.
it's always entertaining. I know um, some people are like, that's weird. I'm like, is it though? Or are you weird? Just kidding. No.
Yeah.
I think you're a little weird if you think that there's not more to this. Like,
I
say
know.
it. Um, I
So
mean,
she
unpopular opinion.
experienced yeah. So she experienced that and then I told her about like dreams I've had as well too. So it's like, you know, there's like our spirit like was it our relatives even after passing, they also come into our dreams as well too. Like, oh my mom saw her like my mom saw my nanny. I saw my daddy on my dad's side in
Mm-hmm.
a dream right after she passed away. And it was like it's like a departing thank you. You know, like we love you regardless and everything. So it was very like, you know, we got our own closure.
That's interesting. I like that you said that. My family has a hard time accepting when people have dreams about like those that have passed on.
Mm.
I was raised in a very like Christian home. And not
Oh,
that I'm saying that Christians don't believe that, but there are
yeah.
some Christians that are so, I'm going to say like Puritan thinking. I know that sounds like it seems like old school, but I'm serious. Like there's like a fundamental aspect to this
Yeah.
that messes up like their actual spirituality in it. So the moment that they think woo woo, like you know, you're seeing somebody who's already passed. What are you talking about? Blah blah blah.
Mm.
Like they think that, oh, that must be of the devil. Like it's very like Bobby Boucher's mom, you know what I mean? Like from Waterboy, like that's the devil, you know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very much like that. So I always think that every time somebody's just like, that's of the devil, I'm like, is it though? Or are you just confused? That's fine
It's
there.
true.
But yeah, like I still have dreams of my dad and my grandparents, and like it's pretty often, and they usually come to me with messages, things that I need to be like paying attention to. So um kind of like most recently, I think like towards the beginning of this year, they were very quick to tell me uh like to keep going, like keep working at whatever you're doing,
Mm.
like it's gonna pay off. Like they come a lot whenever I need that reassurance. Like just keep going. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. Like we're trying to let you know you're gonna be fine. Just keep going. You're getting there. You're getting there. Like, you know. So I'm like, I just kind of have to remind myself of that. And like, if it is just my subconscious using somebody I see wise to tell me that I'll be okay, then okay. But if it's really a visit, then why can't I be happy about that too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's cool. So basically, it seems like you and I have a very similar understanding of how spirituality is, like
Yeah.
in our life. And then again, you said that you've seen things. Your mother has seen things,
Yeah.
and then you see things.
I felt
um
things.
and felt things. See, and I've been the person that I've had all of it. You know, all the clairs. You know how they talk about clairvoyant, clairaudient, clair, all of that.
Yeah.
I've had something of all of it happen at some point in my life. My most is claircognizance. That's the most that I have. Do you
Wait, what
have
is that? Like claircog.
claircognizance? Is the knowing. Like you kind
Mm.
of like get the, you know how you, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, downloads. Have you ever heard of downloads before? It's basically like all of a sudden you have memories or an understanding of something that's going on before anybody says it, or before, or like without knowing the story or whatever it
Mm.
may be. Like you just kind of get like things literally downloaded into your understanding of things. So you'll be like in the middle of something, you'll be like, I need to go somewhere here and there. I think somebody might need my help. Or like it's like random things, and then like
Right.
you follow it and you're like, oh, okay, and then something plays out. Like another here's a good example. Um, maybe about 15 years ago. Shoot, 15, 16 years ago.
Oh shit.
16. Shoot, 17. Oh my god, I'm old. Okay, about 17 years ago. This is before my first kid. That's why I'm trying to remember. I had an instance where I was driving home from work, and I realized I missed a turn,
Mm.
and I didn't like miss the turn, but I was subconsciously going another way, and then I was just like, that's strange. And I was like, you know what, I'll go the way that I feel I'm supposed to go, like,
Mm-hmm.
right. And sure enough, I go down this road, and this happened twice within like 2 weeks. I go down this road. The first time I see a girl crying because her tire is blown, and then there's a car of full of guys right next to her trying to get her to pull over. And I'm driving up right behind them, and I start honking, and then they freak out, and
Mm-hmm.
I roll down my window, and I was like, keep going,
Mm-hmm.
keep going. And they were like, like, are you kidding? Like, they're looking at me like, are you crazy? And I was like, get. And I don't know what it was, literally a car full of guys, one girl, another young girl, and I had
Yeah.
no fear. I was like, you better keep moving. Like, and they were like, okay, okay. And then all of a sudden they freak out, and I was just like, what's going on? And she was just like, I don't know what to do. My dad's gonna kill me. My tire popped, and if he knows that I'm coming home late. Like, she was coming in late, so she was scared of having to call her dad to let him. Do you know what I mean? She was scared
Yeah.
of like that because she was already late. And I was like, okay, well, I understand, but we need to get you off the road because right now you are a hazard and it's dangerous. And I was just like, do you have a spare? And she was like, yes, I have a spare. I was just like, all right, let's go. And I my dad always taught me how to change tires. So I
Mm-hmm.
literally like taught her what to do, like to help me out, and then I changed the tire. I got my ass under her car. I was like doing everything for her, and then she calls and she's like, "Oh, my boyfriend's on his way. My boyfriend's on his way," because she was like, I guess she was on the phone with him and she was panicking.
Right.
And by the time he gets there, like I already had it all the way on. I was like tightening like the last nut, and I was just like, "Well, it's done." I
Mm-hmm.
looked at him like, where are you, Prince Charming? Like, where were you? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, where were you? And I was just like, well, she's fine now. Like, she doesn't really need you. And I was just like, you can go ahead and tighten those more if you'd like to, but I'm gone. Bye. You know? But, like, yeah, like, I completely, like, pushed off the, it was like, the car was like three guys. Again, us two girls. Like, we're small. And I was
Right.
like, what is it? Like I'm here. I got you. And then 2 weeks later, again, same weird feeling. I need to go down this road to home, towards home, instead of my usual. And I turn down that road, and I see a woman crying. She's all like dressed up. It looks like she was leaving a date that like didn't work out, and she was like
Right.
bawling, crying down the street. And I was just all like, "Oh my god, get in!" I was just like, "Are you okay?" And I rolled down the window, and she was like, "Oh my god, thank you. I was praying to God. I was praying to God that somebody would come help me. I was so praying. I was praying." And she was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then she like let me know that there was like an argument between her and like the people that she was with. She didn't know
Mm-hmm.
how she was gonna get home. That she was just like a few more blocks up, but she was terrified. Her feet hurt. She knew that she was wearing like a little dress. You know what I mean? Like she knew
Oh
she was a target.
yeah.
So she was like, "Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you." So and then I dropped her off at home, and she was like, you were like my earth angel." And I was like, oh wow, like literally. And that's what I mean by like spiritual downloads. That's when you all of a sudden have a knowing of something that needs to be done.
Oh,
or
that's
or
insane.
sometimes you get a knowing of entities that are around you, and then like what they're trying to communicate. So it's pretty cool.
So it's like a gut feeling almost, like
Almost.
something is gonna happen and everything, and like
uh
you kind of just have to go with your gut feeling.
right, it's really cool. It's a really cool
No,
gift.
that's really
I guess
nice
that's the best way to,
too.
yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if maybe you've ever had that. I was talking to the last person we interviewed last week.
Mhm.
I was telling him about it, and he was just like, I have had that. He was like, I didn't know that was the thing. And I was just like, yeah. And he was like, so I am gifted. Like, he was so cute. I was like, yeah, that happens. So
I've
I
had
mean,
that
it's
too,
very
I think.
possible if
Like,
you've ever had moments like that.
it's not like anything too scary, but it's like almost like, like when I know like my best friend kind of like is kind of going through something,
Yep.
it's almost like, okay, let me hear you out. Let me be here with you. And it's like I would either like stay on the phone with her for hours at a night or something. I would even text her as well too. And it's like I would just make sure like she's okay.
Right. Yeah,
And
me
it's
and my
like,
best friend are like connected like that too. So there are times
yeah.
she lives in Florida. I've never met her in person. We've known each other for almost 5 years now. I've never met her in person. For like the last 3 years, we've become like really close, and like now
Mhm.
we just consider each other best friends. And same thing. If I can, like, I'll be like, something doesn't seem right, and I'll text her the moment that she's about to text me. She's like, I'm not okay, and I'm like talking to her like, hey, are you okay? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like you start to have that feeling because you like you you start to have a connection, right? Especially with
Yeah.
the people that you care about, which is really cool. I think
Yeah.
that's a blessing. Like,
It's like an empathic thing too, I'd say, because it's like I feel other people's energies like a lot deeper, and it's like
right.
sometimes it gets to a point where I just get drained,
Oh
and I'm like
yes.
I have to make myself be aware like this isn't me, this is others. This is just other
Right.
people projecting me or like projecting their energies on
Or
me, and
trying
it's
to
like
take your light because they're stuck in a darkness. Yeah, which is
I've
so
had
scary. It's so sad. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there multiple times.
I had to like cut people out, like cut friends out, cut like so many, like everyone out, just so I can either stay grounded, kind of find my people, like
I feel it.
either
I feel it.
either we're spiritually like strong or like in tuned and everything, or even just kind of like going through like our ways of life, honestly.
Well, I think what people don't understand is once you start realizing that you have a more of a spiritual awakening, that's the best way of
Mm-hmm.
saying it. Once you have that awakening, I think you wind up recognizing when people are still kind of on a low vibe. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not to say like, it's not to be judgmental, it's just to recognize that like my energy isn't safe with somebody like this, because
Right.
I'm already evolving out of this, and it's like spiritually I'm evolving, and if you're stuck here, then you're all you're gonna do is keep pulling me, and the more I get pulled down, the worse my life gets.
Yeah.
And then the more like you're just in survival mode all the damn time, and it's like, yeah, no, it doesn't work very well. Rather than like go with the flow of spirituality, which is very different. It's a very
It
different
is.
kind of trust level. But yeah, no, I feel that. So I mean, so in that, so now that you know
Mm-hmm.
like what claircognizance is and like all that stuff, now you have an idea. But you
Yeah.
said that you yourself, you feel like you're clairvoyant. You've actually seen things.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
only happened when I was like younger though. But I
yeah.
think
I
as
think
I got
yeah.
I think as I got older, it's more of like I don't really see things, but it's more like I'll catch a glimpse, like a corner of my
Okay.
eye, or like something kind of comes out, or like a shadow or something kind of comes out. If not, I get dreams of like shadow figures in my
Oh
dreams.
god, I
It
hate those
was like
dreams.
it's like sleep paralysis to a point, and there were like
Oh yeah.
three like creatures or three like shadow figures with glowing red eyes, and it's happened in a sequence of events, and I'm like, I know I'm sensitive to these things, I know things are happening. I had to wake up and be like, okay, this isn't me, I'm here, I'm grounded, this isn't me,
Hmm.
this is some other spirit.
This is something that's
And
around me. Yeah.
yeah, and I had to like I meditate as well too, or I pray, or like I'll put like what is it, like a Hanuman Chalisa, or like a Hanuman mantra and everything.
What is that? Oh, mantra.
So yeah, mantra. So it's like in Hinduism we have like in Hindu there's like Hindu gods. So it's like Hanuman's like a monkey god in a way.
Okay.
So it's like he kind of gives you like a protection in a way too. So it's like he protects you from like either things happening in you, and it's kind of giving you strength as well too, to kind of like face your own battles as
Mm-hmm.
well too. So he's I would say like a devotee of Shivji. It's a lot. It's a lot of like
Okay, so there's like, for me there's like Jesus, and then there's like Saint Michael. Okay.
there's like the demigods, like gods, goddesses,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
other
yeah.
like figures, I would say, but like that's what like Hinduism kind of represents and everything. But it's
Hmm.
like there's like different gods for different
Aspects
days.
of your
So
life and stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so all I know is like I just pray from within. So it's
Hmm.
like I know they're just gods and goddesses, but it's like I pray from within. So it's like I know they're around me, and I
Hmm.
know like I feel very in tuned to like someone in a higher being.
I
So I'm
see,
like
I
I
see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
like
like I
you're
just
feeling
give
more
them my
connected to like a source energy rather than
yeah.
like being like stuck. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I give my thanks, like I'm grateful for my struggles. I'm grateful for my negative side. I'm grateful for my positive side. And it's like
Hmm.
every day I'm always like having to show gratitude. Like, thank you for giving me all of these problems so I can face them and continuously keep persevering.
Right. And again, that's a spiritual way of looking at things, man. Like people don't get that. Like a lot of people
They
are like,
don't
"Why?
know.
Woe is me." But when you're thinking in the woe is me, then you don't really like really understand. And mind you, like I fight depression. I deal with stuff like that, but I do know very well that like this there is such thing as the spirit of depression and the spirit of anxiety. Like I do really feel like
Yeah.
it's a part outside of me that like starts to try to like oppress me, not rather than something that I'm like just stuck in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's up to me to like recognize like it's not me, like you said, this is
Yeah.
not me, this is not I don't claim this energy, and it's time for me to start walking out of it. Like I fully understand that. And then sometimes,
Yeah.
and I know this sounds so bad, but like sometimes like I recently recognize like whenever I start feeling that like maybe I need to start focusing on things outside of me
Mm.
that will help move my energy in the right direction. So like forgiveness, generosity, things like that, so that I'm like acting in the light rather than like allowing myself to stay in this darkness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I start doing that, then I start feeling like lighter, right? Um, but again, that thought process, that like gratitude for like every part of you, because every part of you makes you. Like every part of what you
Yeah.
deal with makes you. And then like, and the more, like I know people don't understand this, but the more struggles you have, the more you're able to help. Like
Mm-hmm.
because you struggled, now you can help somebody through theirs. And
It's
like
like you
it's a
have to help
gift
yourself
because
first
yeah,
before
yeah.
you help your other people. Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. It's
yeah.
like it's that whole like mask on the airplane. You put yours on before
Yeah.
you put somebody else's on. But it's like in a spiritual sense, like you start to understand that it's the same way.
Mm.
Like you have to go through life. You have to go through those struggles to understand the gratitude of what's good. Like
Yeah.
all of that.
Also, I think it's like I was also very in a depressive state, even thinking in a woe is me kind of concept, because I would be
Hmm.
like very like self-doubting, self-deprecating, 100% a self-deprecation part.
I hate that. I am so
And
sorry.
and I
I
would
feel
have
that too.
like negative thoughts constantly, and then I'm like and at the when I was meditating, I had to sit with myself. I'm like, I had to literally process every single emotion where I used to shove every emotion down.
Hmm.
And I cry a lot. I am like a crier. Like I have to feel everything because I know certain things, and like I know when it comes to like certain situations, I know things are my fault. I have trouble taking accountability for it, but like I've learned to like okay, start taking accountability of your actions. I'm living with my parents too,
Hmm.
so it's like I'm fighting with them, but it's like I feel like when I started to like understand, okay, I am at fault, let me correct my mistakes, let me not make the same mistakes again, and
Right.
like let me show my actions more rather than saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, because it gets repetitive.
Exactly. Exactly. No, that's good. That's the first way to start learning accountability, and that's like and on a whole other aspect. Like good for you because that is a different kind of growth, and that's hard. Um, Fighting pride or fighting your ego is one of the hardest things you're ever gonna do,
It
because
is.
it's the one thing. Your pride and your ego is what actually holds you back the most in your life,
Mm,
right? Whether it's you allow yourself to believe that you're not good enough, that's still your pride. Like, you know what I mean? That's still
mm.
you saying that you know better you know better than what your divine purpose is.
Yeah,
Like, you
but
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
you don't. It's like you don't know like what you're gonna be in like the future. So it's kind of like finding yourself. Like
Right.
figuring yourself out. And I think also it's kind of forgiving your ego in a way too, which is a
Yeah,
lot harder to
yeah.
do
And then
because
learning how to forgive yourself is, yeah, that's hard.
It is, but it's like
Mhm.
I think it's very slow of a process, and I know people have the ability to kind of like fight their own ego because in the end we're all trying to love ourselves and also trying
Mhm.
to love others as well too, and kind of treat humanity as like, you know, we're people, you know, like we go through the same bullshit.
Yeah.
We're not like you're like you and me are not so
We're not too
different after
different.
all.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
the
Right. Exactly. Exactly. No, it's true.
same.
Um
Kind of got into a TED
no,
talk
it's
in a
fine.
way.
That's fine. That's how most of my conversations are. That's
I
don't worry
love
about it. That most of
that.
my conversations wind up being a mini therapy session, and it winds up being good for me. I'm going to school for therapy. That's the whole reason. We're good. We're good. We're good. It works for me. So
Mm,
with all of that,
yes.
now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of what started happening when you were younger.
Oh, no boy.
And obviously, you've already said that you would have these dreams of these shadow people and stuff like that. Again,
Yeah.
I've had multiple interviews where people will talk about what they've seen in their dreams, similar to that.
Mm.
And a lot of times, it's when they're fighting something negative in their life, like there's actually
Mm.
like a bad thing going on in their life, and then they finally kind of confront it in their dream, which is really interesting.
It
But
changed actually over the years, to be honest. I think now now my dreams I've seen like a lot like spirits, you know, like good. I saw like Hanuman also like the Indian demigod, like the monkey god, and then I saw Ganesha, who is like a
oh
human baby with
wow.
the elephant head.
Oh yeah, I've seen that little. I've seen
Yeah,
that painting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
So
seen
like
both of them. I've seen quite a few. I've
mhm.
actually started doing my own research here and there because I'm really interested in like all of that. So like all of it. Theology from around the world interests me.
And then I've
Um,
been getting cat dreams too, like animal dreams. So it's like it's so interesting. It's like I see different types of cats, different colors. They mean different things.
yeah, they do.
So then I saw a shark, then I saw an elephant, and then I saw I think those are the ones that I saw recently. And then I think it went this random moment where it's like I met like it was like the Native Americans, kind of like indigenous, kind of like the Great Spirit. If you, I think that's
Right.
what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, so I don't want to like butcher anything. So like I'm
No, I
very
get
like
it.
respectful to like other people's like cultures and beliefs. So I saw their headdress,
Oh,
and
how pretty.
I was like having a small conversation with them, and they kind of made me wear a headdress, and I was like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve like wearing anything like this because this is, you know, yours.
Mhm.
And I was wearing this, like I was wearing a headdress, and it was like wrapped into like it morphed into different things. It changed. It was like
Maybe it
ever
was like a
changing.
calling to let you know that you're supposed to be some type of high priestess.
I don't know,
And like
man,
mind
what
you,
it is.
in like every culture, any culture, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like a priestess would be anybody who is just in tune, and maybe like that's what it's trying to let you know. Like we have a way of talking to you.
Yeah.
Like accept your crown. You know what I mean? That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then like you saw it in like in what you understood. That's pretty cool. That is
Yeah.
really cool.
And then Ma Kali also came in a dream too as well. So like she kind of like it was like a project I was doing, and it was like because like I'm also like I'm a special effects makeup artist,
Yeah,
so
I
like I do a
saw.
lot of body painting and everything, and like working with prosthetics and stuff. So there was a dream that I had, and funny thing about my dreams, they're like visions. So
Mhm.
when I have it's like a vision of a project that's gonna come.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's like I had a dream about a monkey prosthetic like a couple of months ago, and then I did a music video of like monkey like kind of like humanoids in a way,
Oh,
and I was like I had a dream about this.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one was like Ma Kali kind of came, and I did like a body painting of her and everything. It was like she was blue, and there was like gold jewelry, and it was like the photo shoot was like it's like red, dark, smoky kind of a thing. And the model that I saw had like long hair.
Mhm.
It's like very like I don't know what background she was, but I was like all I wanted to find someone was like long hair.
Mhm.
It's thick, it's natural. I just wanted to find somebody, and I found someone, and I was like I felt like it was a calling in a way, like I want to do more spiritual projects. that are
Yeah,
like
that's
into
cool.
that. So it's like I give respect to like, you know,
The
the gods and
inspiration.
goddesses,
Mm-hmm.
like as a thank you for kind of like being here, for kind of guiding people and everything. So
That's
like
really cool.
nothing is either, you know, out of a selfish ego. It's like this is just a thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So people can interpret different meanings behind it, and I feel like that's just what my line of art is. Is like you interpret of what you see.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, wait. How about wait?
Yeah. Okay. That's the conversation of the.
But yeah, because we were talking about the fact that you had these dreams, but now, like, but then you've had physical in the real world situations. And
Yeah.
okay, so go ahead. I'm gonna let you just take the floor.
Yeah. So I was in grade school, I think. I don't know, like, how old was I? So my teachers were, like, very fascinated with, like, American history. So they took us to either the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory in the city, because I feel like we did, like a history class about it or something, about, like, you know, things happening in the city and, like, you know, old buildings and stuff like that. And their history was, like, the women that were making shirtwaists. And it was, like, 1912.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
That's right.
history so far. I could butcher a lot of things in the history, but I know like the working conditions back in the early 1900s were like shit. Because you're like in a factory working and everything, so it was like asbestos, everything else was kind of like there. As far as I was reading, and when I was at the location, it was like there was like a staircase that was kind of going upwards to where like the women were kind of like trying to get down from, because it was like either an outside staircase
Mm-hmm.
which was like blocked off, I think, and then there was the inside staircase.
Okay.
That was the only access, was the inside staircase. And I don't know who was in charge. I think it was the boss, I think, or the people owning the shirtwaist, basically men back then in the 1900s, because they were like old-fashioned thought type of thing.
Right.
And misogynistic as hell, I think, also. So I think they locked the doors of the women and either possibly set the building on fire.
So I saw that there was a fire there.
Yes,
so,
there was a fire.
So it got to a point where they decided to like light it on purpose.
Yeah,
and trap them
I don't know
in.
if it was on purpose or something like that, but they locked the women in, and the only way to get out was either to throw yourself off the building, off of that floor that they were strapped on, or go down the stairs. You had two options.
Oh my gosh.
And when I was in this location, it was heavy. Like, I felt like, I felt like I was sad almost. I was crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was walking up the stairs and I thought there was someone pushing me. I was like, there has to be someone pushing me. I looked at my classmates and I'm like, y'all pushing me or some shit? Like, am I crazy? And they were like, no, we're not pushing you. Like, you're farther away from us. Or, like, you know, it was like, there wasn't anybody near me. And I felt someone was pushing me.
Like pushing you up as you were...
Pushing me up or down. Coming up and going down.
Like, anytime you're on the stairs, you were getting
any
pushed
position.
around.
I felt there was somebody behind me or around me. And I was either struggling to get up or struggling to get down. And I told my mom, I was like, Mommy, there's someone that I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next field trip I had after that was, we went to the cemetery where the women were buried.
Oh.
And I have a thing with cemeteries where either I usually avoid it.
Okay.
Because I feel something there, and I just want to give my thanks to you, and like, you know, for being on this plane, but also I know you're still wandering type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the women, I think there was a lady, I think, from the building, either she was working around this Triangle Shirtwaist kind. It was like a story that she was giving, something about the history of it. But I remember I saw a woman there, and I saw like on the cemetery that was like lined up, you know, all the women that passed. And I felt and I saw their images, and like either there was like a photo on their tombstone or something around it, and I was like crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm sorry that you went through all of that. And I gave like a prayer to them, like, you don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't deserve what's been happening to you. You don't deserve how you've been treated. Because it's like, like I cried and I kind of offered them like my thanks, my sorries
Yeah.
to them. My teachers were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm good." I was like, "I'm okay."
Yeah, no, of course you're feeling it. And then especially if you're an empath and then like if they just so happen to not like be at peace yet, then you're gonna feel them.
Mhm.
Oh, that's sad.
I had to tell my mom that happened, and it's like I think that's why I've been going to like temples as a kid to kind of like be like, okay, just calm down,
Yeah.
just calm down, and everything. And second incident happened where I saw an apparition. I don't
Oh
know
my
if it's the
gosh.
same. I don't know if it's like a same school thing. I don't know what it is with American schools, but they love these field trips.
Oh my gosh.
They love these field trips. They love like historical landmark field trips. But I love it so much because I can learn a lot from their history,
Right.
especially this area in Upper East Manhattan, Upper West Manhattan, Washington Heights. Around that area,
Mm-hmm.
there's this mansion. It's huge. It's called the Morris Jamel Mansion. I don't know if your listeners are either like the New York City locals and if you know the area.
I'm sure somebody might come about at some point who knows the area.
Because I think I actually went to that location again, either like a couple of years back, when I was living in Queens, because it was easier for me to travel to Manhattan. Because now I'm in Long Island. I have to take the LA to Boulevard there.
Okay.
So it's like I live on the suburb side of New York City.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just like, you don't look like you have a yard. Do you look?
Yeah, I got a yard. I got a pool out in the front. I got a cat roaming around in the backyard.
Yeah, you're good.
Chilling. We're very much in the nature. And this school, like the mansion, was like it's like old 1800s kind of a mansion, and I know for a fact there were like historical like leaders 1700s probably either like going there, either like George Washington must have been there or something like that. Some of the presidents kind of been there in New York in the Jamel Mansion, and there was like a lady. I don't know her name, but I see her photograph either like the moment you enter in the mansion, and it's like either on the top floor or something like that, but there's like her photo there.
Mm-hmm.
And like her painting is there, her portrait's there with her husband. I think also I sent you a photo as well too.
Yeah, you did. I'm actually gonna see if I can pull it
Yeah.
up. You can keep talking, and I'm gonna see if I can find it.
So I think I was in a field trip with my classmates, and I saw like a person in the balcony, I think, or someone at the balcony. I don't know. I saw like a figure or something in the balcony, and I was like, it looked like a lady. It was like there's somebody. There was like a lady figure vibe going on up there, and this was in daylight, by the way. So I'm like, I don't know if spirits kind of like that. Yeah, that's the lady that I saw.
Right.
In this mansion, she was on that balcony.
She was just hanging out up here.
Hanging out up there on the top floor, and I was like, I see somebody there. And when I recently went back, like a couple of years ago, I was like, I told the guide, I was like, I think I was one of your schools that had a tour a while back, either 2012, I think, or 11, or somewhere around that time. And I was like, I think I was one of the schools that saw an apparition of this lady at the balcony.
Oh my god.
And they were like, yeah, we've had stories about this. You're good. I'm like, yeah, we know she's there.
We've had stories about this, so they make it very clear that they have seen this. That they know that people see her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And they felt her, even like the people working there. It's like, yeah, we're aware of the spirits. We're aware that she's there. Her husband's there. Maybe some of the old people that used to be around in the mansion were there too.
Oh wow. I mean, it's a beautiful space.
It really is. And like,
oh, there's you. There it is. That's it. Yeah. Before as well.
Yeah, actually, that's how it was, like, the whole yard, I think, because there was, like, a cemetery or something around it. Like, there was, like, a good plot of, like, green land and everything, so people were able to, like, walk around and everything, so just feeling the vibe of it, and I was like, yeah, I know there's something here.
Wow.
My gut told me, leave. Just
Did
go
she?
home.
Did it look like you just saw her, or did it look like you saw her and she saw you?
Could be both. I think she might have saw me, or she might have felt me, cause I don't know what it is, but it's like when I acknowledge spirits, like there's like a heaviness that I feel. So my eyes flutter, like it gets
Mm.
heavy, and then
Mm.
there's like something in my chest,
Mm.
and there's like a heaviness that I feel. It could be good or bad, but if
Right.
it's like a heavy bad, then it's like it's not me. Like there's some entity, there's like or some like a dark energy or something around it.
Try to grab you.
And
Yeah.
and that's where like my eyes start fluttering because that's when it gets like heavy. Because I feel it here that there's heaviness.
She doesn't look like a kind lady.
I don't even know.
She looks a little pushy in my mind.
She looks a little prejudiced.
Prejudice, pushy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Seeing you walk. Yeah. I would have
got
probably
that
had a
like
problem with her
caution in
too. She would have probably not liked me either.
I don't think she would like
Like-
me at all. I'm like, I think she would like the both of us because it's like, yeah, we're not, her skin tone. We're like,
Right.
we're brown.
I'm all like, see, I've got some brownie in me. Yeah.
I'm full brown. I feel like you should think of me as a slave, honestly. Be like, yeah, you're one of my workers, just saying. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just here, bro. I'm here chilling. I'm minding my business. I'm from India. I'm chilling.
Well, wasn't there like a time frame where like, colonialism in like India and stuff like that, or like
With the British.
like the mix? Yeah, there was kind of like Indians were very often like butlers and things like that as well. Very similar to
Yeah.
like Mexicans with white people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So like she would have been like, get my things.
I feel
Meow.
like that's what I got from her when I was there. Like there was like that heaviness that I felt from her. I was like, you do you, lady. I'ma do.
She's
I'ma
wondering
do-
why are you not pressing my sheets? What's going on here?
She's either
You're
trying to
like-
feel like she's watching me. She's like, okay, you're gonna do anything? Like, are you
Uh-huh.
gonna destroy my property here? And I'm like, I'm not trying to destroy shit. I'm just trying to look at you. What kind of a lady you are?
Yeah.
What kind of vibe you giving me?
She's got a vibe. I can tell you that right now. Just the photo itself has a vibe, man. She's something. She's very. What is it? What's the term? A very handsome lady.
Yeah, very handsome lady.
It's a little scary. At any
But,
rate,
yeah,
that's
what I
pretty funny.
felt. And then like I think there was another story. I think I was at my friend's place in Chinatown. She used to live in Chinatown, and I think she like her something to do with the property kind of just happened. But I was at her apartment, and there's like certain places at houses they give me weird vibes.
Oh,
for some
for
reason.
sure.
And it was like a full loft in Chinatown, like really old loft. So there's a specific part in the loft where her parents' room was there, and there was like this. It's like a dark hallway.
Ew.
I felt something. There was a residue of something. There was a residue of like some spirit there. And
Something hanging
that's
around.
what made my eyes flutter. I told my best friend, I was like, girl, I gotta leave. I gotta go. I don't want to stay here.
You've got something going on here.
Oh, then you guys, excuse me. And then she was like, oh yeah, I know, but it doesn't bother her at all. So I was like, she told me it's like a residue of like a spirit or something around there, like a cleansing or something. So like it's like a spirit residue that kind of like that just lingers. So I feel like after when people kind of do like a spiritual cleanse, like a deep cleanse, there's a residue that kind of just leaves off. It's usually like it's supposed to be harmless. It's not
I
supposed
don't
to,
know.
like-
All I
don't
know
know
is
about
that
the
when I do cleanses, I don't feel anything afterwards. Like I make sure that it's fully done. You're done. You're out. Yeah.
I do have like incense or agarbatti that kind of just like comes around too. So like I'll either put that around,
Mhm.
or I'll just have like a mantra kind of playing in the background. That kind of just calms the energy down. And like my dog, she just sleeps when like those prayers are being there in the background. So it's like it just keeps her calm and like.
Yeah, I keep prayers on at night too. Well, my prayers, my prayers,
Yeah.
my prayers, my scripture and stuff like that. But yeah, I do. I keep those on at night, and it's to calm my pets. I'm like, all right, we're going to sleep, and it's literally prayers for them to chill out, to keep the energy of the space nice and clean, and then for them too.
Yeah. Also, like when I'm leaving, or like if I'm going out, or my mom's going out, or like my parents kind of going out, like they'll go out for like long hours, and either I'll stay home alone with my dog, or I'll just have, if I'm out, I'll have like the spiritual prayers kind of playing for her.
Right, I do that too.
Like, so either there's like Sikhism, kind of like a mantra going there, or like a jop. How do I say, like, the translation really bugs me. It's like I'm so used to like I'm used to the language translation. As soon as I have to do it in English, it's like I don't want to do this. I don't want to translate. I'm tired. Like I get that translation fog of like.
Oh, I get it.
In my head.
No, don't worry about it.
I cannot do this.
Yeah, no, it's.
Well, I have like different like mantras playing, either like from Sikhism, Buddhism, I'll play Hinduism, kind of a thing. So everything is just playing in the background.
Just always.
And she just sleeps.
And that's what makes her happy.
Yeah.
That's what tames the monster. That's what tames the little beast.
And so she wakes up and then she harasses me. Right now she's on a power nap mode. As soon as if the podcast is done, she's gonna be like, right,
my turn.
Chaos time.
Yeah.
Going back to my territory. This is just a front I'm playing. I'm portraying.
Yeah, I'm just pretending I'm a nice, sweet little puppy. For today. For right now. That's so cute. So, since everything that happened when you were younger, did you ever see things or deal with things as you got older, or has it mostly been through your dreams, like you said?
I think as I got old, because when I was in college, I gone through like various different stages of my life of beliefs. So I got into like Wiccan, I'd say, for a good bit. I learned a little bit of like witchcraft. They're all about the elements, until I was like, I did one of the ceremonies, either it was on Samhain at that time.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, I did their ceremony, and then I was like, this isn't me. There was a weird calling that I was getting, like something in the back of my head, or like a deep gut feeling that's saying, don't give in. This isn't who you are. You are more than this. You have more, like, there's like something that I feel
something broader to you than just being limited to this one belief.
Yeah. And then I got into Satan, like the satanic Bible type of thing, which gave me a full mind blown of how people can be so animalistic and so
yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah, and hedonistic too, in a way.
Right.
It's like, like Aleister Crowley type of thing.
Oh,
and
dear.
I was watching a video of like, what is it, Anton LaVey. And his kind of,
he's like the right before Aleister, right?
Yeah, it was like probably somewhere around that time with Aleister. And then those two men gave me the heebie-jeebies. I was like, I don't like this shit. I read it as, just a regular read until I saw the commandments, and I was like, I don't judge. I will never judge a person who is an atheist. I will never judge someone who is a Satanist or that follow, or even they follow like Lucifer as well too. And
Luciferian,
I'm like, okay, yeah, Luciferian. I'm like, this is who you believe. Cool. I can see where science and like kind of go into that
Scientology side of shit.
Yeah, like the Scientology type of thing. And I'm like, and I heard about Scientology.
That's a different one. That was all kinds of creepies.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, you believe what you believe, but no, I am not walking into that building. No, thank you.
Just don't invite me to your little meetings and shit. I'ma just be here. I'ma give my prayers. I'ma meditate. I'ma just be a good human being every single day, giving thanks to myself, giving thanks to my parents and everyone else. And I'm like, this is how I.
You're like, no.
I don't need like all of this. I'm grateful that I was able to experience that. All of those like phases in my life, because that's what gave me certain dreams. It was like those time in college, I was able to see.
She's good.
she snoozed. I think I felt like I was. This wasn't high schoolish, college-ish. I was like felt like I was going downwards in hell.
Oh, wow.
Something was like sucking me down, and I felt like something was like clawing at me or something.
Oh,
like that.
heck no.
Yeah, and then but this also happened. This dream also happened like either recently too, like again a couple of months ago, where I was like I was doing a photo shoot, and there was like a light bringing me upwards, and there was something bringing me downwards. So it was like a push and pull kind of like a feeling.
Oh, wow.
This was in a photo shoot, and I was like, I saw like that's what a project I was doing, but it felt so real.
Oh,
Because
wow.
like I know I'm being pulled and pushed either like dark, like I don't want to say darkness as like something negative, but it's either could be my darker thoughts, like my negative thoughts kind of like bringing me downwards, or like people who either I used to talk to had negative thoughts and they were bringing me downwards.
Right.
So either I know I surround myself with like everyone, because I'm a very open book, but I'm also very reserved too when it comes to like
who you actually share your energy to. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
My energy is sacred. And
exactly.
And I think it should be shared with the right people.
Agreed.
As long as like they can, I would say like they can match your energy. It's like they know you, they see you, they don't judge.
Right.
Like, I don't judge others.
And and there's like a misconstrued. I feel like there's a misconstrued idea of what it means to not judge. To not judge means to not, to not hold a bias against somebody because of the place that they are in their life, right? But if you see that they're harming themselves, you're gonna step in. That's not judgment. That's discernment, and you're trying to help. Like, there's two different levels.
Also, too, like you're concerning about the individual.
Yeah.
It's like you see them kind of going through their struggles, and it's like you want to
help. Look, I understand that you believe in this or that you've been doing that, but I'm also seeing that you're starting to sink. Are you sure that you're okay? Like, okay, we're gonna use Ariana Grande as an example.
Oh, boy. Oh, honey.
And the other one, what's the name of the other witch? What's her? Both of them. All of a sudden.
Who?
In Wicked, like it's actually like the two of them.
Oh, Elphaba.
The girl that plays Elphaba. What's her name?
Yeah, Cynthia Rico.
Thank you, that one. Both of them. I feel like both of them, something got disconnected somewhere, because they're like, what's the best way of saying it? They don't look healthy.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like eventually your body portrays what your spirit is going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like eventually your body's gonna like do the same thing. And I know like there's a lot of like scientific research on this and people want to like ignore it and stuff like that, but like if you're in bad spirits, quite literally, if you're like literally just always in like a dark space or whatever it may be, you're gonna start getting sick. You're gonna start looking different. You're either gaining weight or losing weight too much. Like all of that. Like, and I know that people like to say, "Oh, that's depression or that's anxiety or da-da-da." But I have that's a whole other thing. And if you, unfortunately, you haven't known me quite yet. But a lot of conversations that I have is, the ideas of mental illness are science's way of trying to minimize spirituality.
I got that a lot actually, because okay, I'm happy that we're talking about this, because I know in spirituality they always talk about this too, like it's literally your mind. I would say like in every spiritual practice, either I've talked about or like I've been around in a community basically, so they always say the mind is the devil. Christianity, they say the same thing, your mind is the devil. And it's like it would literally, your mind will strengthen you, but it can also harm you.
We don't really, okay, well, hold on, real quick. We don't really say that the mind is the devil, but we do say that, like, our natural self is easily influenced. So our thoughts are either because we're in focus with our faith, or we're being influenced by something outside of us. Like, so there's always a constant influence, if that makes sense. So um like you can be oppressed that leads you into depression because you're constantly hearing you're not enough, you're not enough, you're not enough.
Yeah.
But why are you hearing that? That's not natural to you. That's not a natural thought.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Unnatural,
It's also not a natural thought to believe that you should die.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
It's completely unnatural, but it is darker forces that influence, right? And they have the ability to influence you. Now, one thing to understand about Christianity, or to understand what we know, is nothing in your mind can your mind or your thoughts cannot be read by anybody but God.
Right.
Okay? Like he is the only one that's omnipotent, omniscient, like that's it. So anything else can only influence you from the outside. So the more you say things out loud, the more you're influential. Does that make sense?
Like, it does, because it's like, what you speak, it kind of comes back to you. So
Yeah.
it's like karma, basically.
Yeah, and that's fully explained in the Bible too, in our scriptures as well. It's not said as karma, but you do get told like that what you give, you get back tenfold. Like it's a very much an understanding of that, like 100%. And the sharp is the tongue is sharper than the sword. You can create, you can either create life or death by the tongue, like things true. Like that. So it's all part of that, right? So like and then there's also part of the scripture where you understand that as you are walking in faith, you're asking for a transformation of your mind, and that is part of it too, like, right? So and it's interesting because, like, again, in our scriptures, it's mind, body, and soul are like the balance. And if you think about it, like in our scripture, we're also very focused on the Holy Trinity, and it's very interesting because everything is about balance, and it's about threes all the time.
No, that's true, because I think in Hinduism it's also about the threes as well too. So
and in Celtic and in Nordic. So let's think about that. Yeah, exactly. It brings it out.
I didn't even notice that, like in Celtic and in the Nordic.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen like symbols or anything like that, but I have like heard of like either Vikings and stuff. And I think there is
a huge symbol. You're used to it. It's like the swirls. Yeah.
Squirrels.
Squirrel. Okay, that's fine.
That's true, though.
Yeah, but so with that, like, I feel like a well balanced person does balance mind, body, and soul. Like, you do work on mind, body, spirit at all times, right? Yeah. Like I'm focusing on being better with my body, and like I've been doing a lot more. I've always been very spiritual, and then I dealt with a lot of things mentally that weren't like where I wasn't as strong. So I've been like I've been going through a lot of healing. So I focused last year on my mental health, and then like continuing to grow spiritually. And this year I've been focusing on my physical health and continuing to grow spiritually. Yeah. But it started to it had to click, because for a really long time I'd get annoyed with the whole, your body is your temple, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? If my body's my temple, then I'm gonna decorate it how I want, and I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and I get, you know what I mean? And I thought about it, I was like, oh, that's a very selfish way of thinking things. Like, I came across a sermon recently that talked about how, like, your like, you can only go as far as your body's gonna let you. Like, to be able to spread the message here, like, to be able to spread awareness, to spread love, to be a part of, you know what I mean? You can only go as far as your body will let you. So if you're going to hinder yourself because you're not taking your body seriously, then that's a problem. Now I understand why it's important for me to take care of my body too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think also it's like, I know there's like, I do talk about spirituality too with like my friends and everything, even like my like one of my dear friends too. So I have like certain people that I talk about it with, and it's like, you know, I know there's certain people when you're talking about spirituality, like it doesn't click them as much.
Oh,
'Cause
right.
I
And they're very like, and I'm like, somebody's lost.
Yeah, or there's like this thing, there's like a blockage that I feel. Like, you know, I get a
Yeah.
blockage from them, like, you know, don't talk about it. They're not gonna reciprocate it. Or like
Right.
there's something that's blocking me from saying. So I know it and I feel it, and it's like, okay, if I'm not meant to say this or have this conversation, it will not talk freely.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll just be like out of force, and then I'm gonna get that heaviness in my chest where it's like, you know, don't talk about it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned to kind of trust that, only talk about it with other people,
With the people that are, if they're ready for it. But so there's also like, okay, so I'm what you would call, what's on me? Oh, that's the thing. I thought there was something on me, but it's the design that threw me off for a second. I was like, okay, there's I'm what you would call a Christian witch. Okay, so
Ooh.
I actually do a lot of my own like spell work, things like that as well, energy work. But I am very much a Christian. I focus just on my Christianity, and I kind of actually got more led into it from reading the Bible, which was so interesting. I've always been drawn to candles and incense and like the idea of spell work and things like that. But I couldn't understand why I was so drawn to it. And then I started reading the scripture, and I remember before I remember like being really, I can't say convicted, but very lost. And like, I wasn't convicted because I wasn't feeling like what I was doing was wrong, but because of the bias that I grew up with. um I was lost and I was scared. You know what I mean? So I remember really crying and really praying about it, and I've always used the Bible as a divination tool. I never realized that that's how I was using it. We're gonna put it that way. I've been using it like that's my whole life. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize that that's how I was using it. So I would always pray and pray for answers and pray for what I was dealing with. And then I would literally, like, with my eyes shut, I would like flip through the pages, and then I'd feel myself stop, and then I'd put my finger on where I needed to start. And then I would start reading the scripture, and in that moment, wherever I am, it answers me. And like, and in no lie, I've always been answered that way. Always in prayer. And I came through a scripture that was in Jeremiah that talks about how God was upset that the people were lighting incense and giving burnt offerings to in another temple. And I read through it a few times, and I was just all like, what am I seeing? Like, are you upset? And I was just like, no. And then I saw, and then like it clicked, like the whole like 10 Commandments, like, no, I am a jealous God. Like a reminder, I am a jealous God. Like that is on the first commandment, love me above all else, above all other gods, for I am a jealous God. Remember that. So like, I was like, oh, so you're not mad about the ritual, you're mad about the who.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's when it clicked to me. I was just like, oh. So I like, for me, wanting to light a candle in prayer with you, or to bring something to you at an altar, to put together a spell to you at an altar, like, because when you do anything, you're usually calling in like other witches, Wiccans. I'm pretty sure you remember, they call in the four corners. They do, you know what I mean? They call in the energies of the different places, or they call in their deity of their choice, things like that, so that they can invocate into their spell, correct? So for me, it's like, oh, well, I'm not calling anybody but him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm calling the big man upstairs. Like, you're the one that's going to handle this. And then I tell him, like, if there's anybody else's energy that you see is right for me to have here, please let it be. So, like, sometimes I can sense Aphrodite. Sometimes I talk to Hecate. Sometimes I've had Hera come about. I've had, like, a lot of female spirits that are, like, goddesses. And I'm saying that because I feel, this is my belief, that everything is just derived off of the one main source regardless.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah,
the day,
yeah.
there's one main creator, one main creation,
Mhm.
and it's that one main creator that, like, there are different parts of him that
Mhm.
become everyone else. You
No,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's true.
Because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
also doesn't
yeah.
deny, he doesn't, like, if you read the Bible, there's no denial of these other gods.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but
It's like
it's
they're all a
just,
part of him.
right, they're all part of
Yeah.
it. Like, we're a part of him. like,
Yeah.
like,
We're
and
all
that's,
we're kind of like we're children of him in a
right,
way. Like
everybody is. Yeah,
yeah, we're trying to
everything
like
in
do our
creation is.
best. We're trying to like do our best and everything and get through like our life, but also kind of give him thanks. You know, like okay, you know, we're
Mm-hmm.
here. We're serving your purpose. You know, we're serving why you kind of came to our like why we kind of came into this birth in a way. And
Right.
it's kind of like you know going back.
Right.
You know,
It's like,
like
what's the understanding? What is my lesson? What is my purpose here before I come back, go back?
yeah,
Yeah.
because we're not meant for this plane.
Right.
We really are not.
And
Like
I've once heard, like, um your existence is God's way of experiencing Earth.
mm-hmm.
Right? Like, he's like, so what, like, as Christians we believe God is in us. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just of the world, like in the world or around us, but he's in us, right?
Yeah.
And that's even one of the scriptures, greater is he who is in me than he that is of the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, like, we're the only religion that believes God is within.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. And the funnier part is that even with that belief, religion with Christianity, like, I'm saying religion because you know how we have so many different sects of the same, like, understand, like, hello, we're supposed to be all on the same team. Well, like, the religion of it has separated God from us.
That's true.
And that doesn't make any sense because it's like, no, it makes it very clear. And even Christ tells us that he's in us. Like, so hello. Like, what are we doing here, people? So with that, like, back to, like, that whole, like the spell work and all that stuff. I think it's really important to, like, recognize when you're in the right mindset to accept something new. Do you know what I mean? And to pray, like, obviously you said you pray and you know you acknowledge that there's more than you, and, like, in that, giving that reverence to what is ultimately, like, your great destiny maker, like, you know what I mean, like, because that's really it, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, we all have a destiny, we all have a path, we all have so much that we're called to. But if you're not, like, curious, then you're not gonna know that. You know what I mean? So, like, the fact that you were talking about, like, oh, and I read this and I learned that, I do too. I do too. And I know firmly who I am in my faith, but I read everything else because I'm like, how am I not, like, and I don't read everything else with the thought process of being influenced by it, but to see where everything, where a lot of things just wind up aligning. Like, a lot of things line up. And the thing is, the thing that I find sad is when it comes to, like, the Satanist church and all that stuff, like you were saying, very hedonistic and animalistic.
It is.
It keeps you away from that, from the greater self. Like, the greater, that's the problem with that, right? Because you're basically living in an ego state at all times. And that is selfish, narcissistic, which sounds like, you know what I mean? It sounds like who he is, right? But that's that thought process. So if you can tell yourself, like, oh, well, I'm the only person that this and that, like, ooh, like, now you're just full of yourself. Like, you can't tell me you're a good person if the only person you focus on is you.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
You're also, like, thinking in a world of, like, you know, like what is it, the selfishness, manipulative side kind of comes out.
Right, it does.
And it's like, when I look at the satanic, like, beliefs, or, like, the church and, like, the commandments, I look at it through, like, the chakra, you know, like, there's, like, the top and there's the bottom. So the root is, like, where everything is. It's
Mm-hmm.
where like your ego is. It's where your pride is. It's basically where your lust is.
Right, right.
It's
Which
kind
is
of
why
how
it's
you.
there.
And it's also like, it's how, if you want to stay up here, you kind of have to go. You have to start from the
Yeah, to
root
come.
to
Yeah.
go upwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense as to like why Satanism and like Satanists, so it's like very, they have like that hedonistic like their mindset and everything, because it is about them. They think that they're like the higher like their higher being and everything. And it's like when I read into that, and I was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is like,
Yeah.
Satan in general, like
Yeah.
God appointed him. He said, you can be the ruler of the world, but I'm the ruler
Yeah.
of the heavens and of everything that happens, like aside from it.
Yeah.
So he makes it very clear that, yeah, sure, you can rule the world. You can
Yeah.
be you're of the world. So when you're talking about like greater is he who is in me, because he who's in us, right? Then he that is of the world, that is, who rules the world.
He's of the worldly desires.
He's of the
your
world.
carnal
Everything that's of your
desires.
carnal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know about like, what is it, the seven deadly sins too.
Yeah. And when you read
So,
them, you're like, wow.
I was like, I don't. I think they also translate that too in Sanskrit as well.
Yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita as well. I think it's Kam, Kro, Lobh, Moh.
Right, I have heard that.
Something else in there too. But I know it means the same. It's literally the same seven deadly sins. And
right.
It's like...
And it's because they're very carnal desires. Every single one of them is led by something that keeps you stuck here.
Yeah.
Like and there's nothing beyond it.
Everyone has that. Everyone has.
And that's what we all obviously everybody's gonna suffer, or not suffer, but like fight something out of this. Like at some point or another, somebody's gonna fight something out of this.
And it's like, it's just navigating way through it. It's like, it's kind of like forgiving those seven deadly sins and being like, even owning it perhaps as well too. Like, this is either a part of a human being, but it's also like accepting it. Because either people have like a hard time accepting like the innermost, like the inner darkness and everything.
So I'm sure you've heard of shadow work.
I've heard of shadow work.
Okay. So people like to assume that like a lot of unknowing Christians, I'm going to say this, a lot of ignorant Christians will assume shadow work means working with something dark. Yeah. Right? And that's not what that means, right? However, scripture makes it very clear that you're supposed to reveal your deepest parts of you to become cleansed, to become a transformation of your mind, to like all of that, to be able to level up spiritually. You need to face what is holding you down, which is the shadow part of you, right? Which is the part of you that is the dark side of you, but you're not acknowledging that it rules you. You're acknowledging that you need to control that you need to overcome that. Yeah. And even the Apostle Paul would talk about how he had a thorn in his side, right? The thorn in his side is never explained, but he calls it the thorn in his side. Basically, it's the one sin that always came back at him. Does that make sense? Yeah. And he would call it that thorn in his side. And when he prayed about it out of like full conviction, God tells him, my grace is enough. Meaning, like, if you're focusing so much to try to be better than it, and it comes at you every once in a while, I understand that every once in a while. But when you're doing it on purpose for like a complete choice every time, like, like you're fully living in that sin at all times, then that's when I can't help you. Does that make sense? But so like
basically it's like he's there to help you when you're at your most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like you're at your most lowest.
And he's trying.
I think that makes sense. Because it's like, I know I've gone through like stages in my life where it's like, where I'm at my lowest, and it's like there's like a cry, there's like a screech, like a soul kind of like screeching from within, like saying, hey, help me. I don't want to be here, I don't want to be stuck here, I don't want to be stuck in my negative thoughts, I want to be past this. And it's like, I think it's like I want that strength, just give me strength. But then I realize I have that strength in me, right? I just have to find it. You have to, I have to be rooted in it, because I know for a fact, like I feel like I'm protected, right? I'm here, and it's like I think that's why like I look at the world like very naively, you know, like a naive child, a very innocent child, you know, like looking at the world in a very curious mind.
Right. And
And
it's
but
funny because that's God actually calls us to be that.
yeah,
Like we're actually called to be, like Christ makes it clear that He wants us to have the faith of children, like be in the mindset of children, so that your faith is pure, like your, everything that you take in is pure, right?
mm,
So, like curiosity, like, to be honest, the God of the universe does not give two craps if you're asking Him questions. He made you to ask questions. He
yeah,
wanted you to
you're
have
supposed
will.
to be
You're
curious in this
supposed to be
world.
asking questions.
Yeah.
He loves it because He knows that you're working. Your mind is working.
Mhm.
I made you right. You know what I mean? You know what I
created you.
mean? I created you right. You're finally. Thank you for having this conversation with me. It's what He wants. The same way any like grand mind philosopher wants to have conversations um that make him challenge his thoughts. God is never challenged, but He loves when you're challenging yourself. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
it
Because
does.
that's when He can express Himself to you more.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, and it's awesome. It's really awesome. So don't ever feel like your curiosity is holding you back, because
Oh no.
yeah.
Like I tell my mom, you know, like, you know, if I go to a church and everything, I'll tell like, Mama, I went to a church and you know, I saw like all these beautiful cathedrals, all these beautiful like
Mm-hmm.
paintings. I was sitting at a church just amazed.
Oh
I was
yeah, a lot of
I
old ones are so gorgeous.
They
They
are.
don't make the architecture the same way, and I feel like it's removed so much from what
Oh,
we really
the
were.
St. Patrick's Cathedral, when I went there on like a college trip or like even a high school trip or something, I was in there and I was like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Then I felt, then there was like a thing, and like while I'm there, it's like, I must pray to give my thoughts, you know, like just to say like, thank you, like, thank you for bringing me here, because like I'm just a curious soul,
Yeah.
you know? I want to say thank you. And also the angels that are there, like I don't know. I don't know. All I saw was Jesus Christ, and I saw a woman, and I was like, and then I saw like I saw.
Right. Yeah. So if you're in a Catholic church, you're most likely gonna see like saints. You're gonna see the Virgin Mary, and you're
The
gonna see
Virgin
Christ.
Mary, yeah.
Right. Right.
And then
yeah.
I was like, thank you. Also, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like I even like what is it like? I went to like what is it like a Durga or like was like a Ma Kali temple, because Kali is like, you know, in Hinduism she is like, would you say, a woman of like divine feminine in a way.
Ooh, I need to look her up.
She's also, fun fact, she's also one of the like the deities, like the gods and goddesses that's like, you know, with Hecate and
Hecate and
all of these
Aphrodite
other like
and all that.
female.
Yeah.
They're all the same. They're all like one of the what is it? The divine feminine, the chaotic feminine.
Yeah.
And it's when I went to that, like there was like a temple, because usually you're supposed to offer like alcohol to her, or like there's like an offering you give her and everything. And my dad did that for like a, what is it, like a ritual we had to do for. We're always doing some rituals. We're always like giving like a thanks to us, like to other beings and everything. So it's like I think my dad had to do something, and then I was there at the temple, and I was like, what is this? Like I didn't feel intimidated, but I was like, okay. I was shocked. I was like, but then, you know, I told my dad, I was like, why are we giving alcohol? I've never heard of this.
Oh yeah, you know, and it's funny because there's a lot of cultures that believe in giving alcohol to like your ancestors, or to your or to like what's the other, like, I don't know if you've heard of Santeria.
What is that?
Santeria, it's like an island religion that kind of started like near the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, all of that. It is a I'll give you a little history. When the colonials came, there was the Oshun, I believe, religion,
Right.
and they basically had, you know, their own little deities and things like that, and they would they had to kind of comply to the colonials, right? Like the right as they came in and they started to kind of conquer, they were kind of scared into submission. And I say this because they they just got smart and they wound up hollowing out the statues of different saints that they were like bringing with them, like from from Europe. And they basically meshed Catholicism and Oshun together. I believe
Okay.
it's Oshun. I'll believe. Please don't quote me on that, guys. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but yeah. So they mixed the two religions together, um, by using the same prayers in Catholicism to be applied to their other deities and their other prayers. But what they did is they would get those, like the statues of the different saints, they'd hollow them out and they'd put in their deity that was of like similar need, like say it's like someone for like misfortune and whatever, like to help with that, they put whatever god that was into Saint Jude, you know what I mean,
Oh.
and then they'd close him up, but they had their own deity inside the saint, so that they, when they were praying to the saint, they were also praying to their deity. So they like mixed the two.
Right.
And that's where Santeria comes from. It's the religion of saints, Santeria.
Got you.
But yeah.
Also, give me a second. I'm about to charge my iPad.
Oh, you're okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, the puppo.
Okay, hello.
Okay, hello. Oh, you okay? Okay, there you go.
Sorry, Pixie.
Oh, she's like, ma'am, you're interrupting my sleep. Her little ears. It's so cute.
She do a stretch.
Oh my goodness, how cute. We knew you were going to be part of the show eventually, little one.
She's like, I would like to sleep, thank you. I know, mama. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Manur Khalita. So sorry. She's like, we're done here.
But yeah, so the point I was making with all that is like there's a lot of different I guess a lot of different religions that are also influenced by other religions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just, and if you do any theological research, you know very well that it all winds up coming together in a very strange way. And that's just one way, like, you know, you can either affirm your faith and understand, you know, where your faith takes part in like the bigger picture, or you if you feel lost, then, you know, keep searching. Well, I'm all
My iPad is just kind of going through it right now. I'm trying to like adjust with the. Okay, cool.
there we go with the cord. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I mean, I would say anything that you're going through, it's like, it's pretty normal to be curious, and it's pretty cool that your dad, like, or that your parents are very like understanding that like you're on your spiritual journey, and there's no like there's no bias against what you're doing, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They like understand, which is nice. I wish I had that same. I would have had the same with my dad, because we would have a lot of conversations. Like, I remember he used to say Greek mythology a lot, and everybody calls Greek mythology Egyptian mythology, right? They all say that, and I'll tell people, why are you calling it mythology when it's the way of life for so many people? Like,
that's true. It's
so
their philosophy.
so I call it theology. I fully stick to theology. I'm
Theology. So,
like, yeah,
so
it's a religion. It's a study of religion. It's a type of religion,
mhm,
right? So like it's my theology is in Christianity. Their theology would be in, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Like it's the study of the different religions. So like I feel
mhm,
like it's minimizing, and I don't like it. So I remember having a conversation like that with my dad, and I was just like, I really believe that God is so much greater, and we are not, like, who are we to limit him to how he has ever presented himself to anybody else?
mhm,
And he was like, that's a thought. Like, he
mhm.
was like, oh. And mind you, there is the Book of Enoch, and it does talk about things that do, like the beings that were considered. There we go. Let me fix that. The beings that were considered gods, like he does that is written in the Book of Enoch, which is. I suggest if you are curious about stuff like this, the Book of Enoch is a nice little fun epic for you to
The Book
read.
of Enoch
Enoch.
or the
Hmm.
Enoch, Enoch.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I actually did
Um.
have I did have a question for you though.
Yeah.
They are like haunted places, right? That are like around either like the Cecil Hotel, for instance,
Hmm.
and then other places like around the states or even the country. Which place would you actually go to? Either just to see or just have like.
So where I live, I live in El Paso, Texas. It's considered one of the oldest cities in the United States. Um, it was founded. What one of the areas just right outside of like the main city was founded in 1598. Just
Mhm.
before that was St. Augustine, which is the oldest fort, Spanish fort that was ever found. That's out in Florida, and that was like 1560 something, so about 30 years of difference.
Right.
So like we're the second oldest. Does that make sense in the United States as far as an established
Uh-huh.
European space? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
However, in our area, we had, I mean, obviously, like Mexican, Mayan,
Mhm.
Inca, Aztec, and
Mhm.
then moving up, we have Hopi, we have Navajo, we have, right? So all of that kind of comes in this area that I live in.
Right.
Um, Tigua is like the big one that's around where I'm at. But there are caves just about 4 miles, 5 miles from where I'm at, like a big place called Waco Tanks. The cave drawings are dated back almost 6,000 years.
Oh shit.
That means that it's as old as Moses.
Oh
So if you want to
god.
think about how far, like where that actually puts you in history, right? So for me, I tell a lot of people that there's a lot of history here, just everywhere in the United States, but there are certain
Yeah.
places that have hotbeds. Where I'm at is a hotbed, 100%. There's always something
Ooh.
coming through. Um, if you ever look back at some of my other conversations or anything like that, if you ever go on YouTube and look up some of the other videos that have gone up, there are times that I'm literally talking about spirits. I have my REM pod on and things like that, and I'm getting ready to, like, I do divination. I do,
Mhm.
I can do spirit guide readings and things like that. And you will see my REM pods and my EMF going off like crazy. Like I have things that come through my house through this space all the time because I made it very clear that anybody who wants to come and visit and talk to me can only come here. So with that said, I believe that my city itself is very rooted in a lot of
Uh-huh.
activity because
You're right.
most people here, I would say about 80% of the people here have experienced something. The other 20% know people who have experienced something.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
yeah, that does.
So,
Awesome.
I'm very, very biased about the fact that I know that this place is a hotbed and like it's just really it's just not paid attention to as well as it should be. That's just the
Okay.
bottom line. It's okay. I understand you're adjusting it. You're fine.
Straight on. Oh man. I'm gonna have like the worst technical difficulties ever just for okay.
We think we got it. Okay. And then aside from that, Um, I do know other places that intrigue me would be somewhere like further north, something like closer to you, like east and northeast, like New England area. I feel
Yeah.
like that area is very interesting too. Um, Obviously Florida, like the coast, I think is
Hmm.
very interesting on that side. And then I feel like the inner part of America is probably less of a hotbed than towards the
The outer.
outskirts. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I
Hmm.
I think also like I would hear like ships also have like their own
Yeah,
hotbed in it. The Queen Mary, for instance, I look at that ship and I think of the Titanic, of what the Titanic could
right,
have,
right.
and like that ship, the fact that I see videos of how that ship is like demolished from the inside and everything, and it's like I look at it and I'm like, I will not go there. I will not see it. I will, because I get this vibe that I get. It's like like it's trapped. Like there's
There
like
are
an
certain
entrap.
places that are very, yeah. No, I
Like
feel that.
so it's like I know like when there's like certain places, either like if souls are trapped and they're stuck, it is harder for them to come out.
Right.
And it's like those places I either just leave them be. Like it's there's like a blockage that I will never go there.
I'm gonna ask you a question because I obviously
Sure.
you're in New York, but
Yeah.
and obviously you've gone to NYC.
Mhm.
So my question for you is,
What's up?
have you ever been to Ground Zero,
I have.
and what does it feel like?
Oh. My college was actually near BMCC is near. I took classes and everything around there because I transferred from a different community college in Queens to BMC, so it's Borough of Manhattan Community College. It's
Mm-hmm.
in near the World Trade Center by Chambers Street. I go there around that area in Ground Zero.
Oh wow.
It is. I have never seen the inside of it. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's I I know if I were to go there, I would cry. I would cry so much. Even seeing that whole space of like the
The
waterfalls kind of
memorial.
like
Mm-hmm.
traveling down, there's heaviness that I feel. Like it feels like when I'm near those areas, I can't stay there for long.
Right.
It's like I know my friends, we would kind of hang out there and everything because there's like a pier that's like right by there,
Mm-hmm.
and I know when I look at the sun and there's like a timing and then there's like something around that, there's like a weird timing that I feel like like I have to leave, I have to go.
That's
And
interesting.
it's like I can't go around that area a lot. It's like even my makeup school, which used to be there, used to be near that area, they closed down, but now it's in the California area in Burbank. It's makeup
Oh,
design. So
that's
they
interesting.
had a New York location. I would have to go to there to get to the train station to go home.
Oh wow.
And even then, it's like I have to go home. Like around that lower Manhattan, there's that heaviness that I
I feel
feel. Yeah.
that just added to the
It's
drama.
just like, yeah, we're done here.
Man, I've just been curious because I feel like there's been other people that I've spoken to that have said that they've been there and that they felt like tears and they didn't understand why they felt sad. And I'm like, oh, maybe you're more in tune than you think, you know? But
Like I
yeah,
feel sorry. That's just what it is. It's like
yeah,
I'm sorry like you were trapped. I'm sorry that you were stuck and you were trying to get out, and it's like
mm-hmm.
I forgive you.
Yeah,
It's like they were just the people that were working at the time, because I remember I was 1 year old when I heard about this. I was in Maryland at the time, I think, too. It was the Brooklyn Bridge. No, hold on a second. Wrong event. This was I'm
you're
getting
fine.
the year trapped.
You're fine.
But it's like I heard about the news and everything too, so it's like being so cautious of like going into New York and everything. It's like we had to like just like okay, it was like we were just scared.
Yeah.
Going there. And sometimes when I'm around here, it's like I do get a little bit of scared. You know, it's like because you never know what's going around. You never know, like, especially with ice raids that are happening too. So that adds like that extra fear as well.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I know, like, there's a lot of things happening in the city right now that it's like, I'd rather be on my toes, just be very cautious. My mom tells me when you're going to the city, be careful.
Yeah.
There's always something happening. Even I get scared too, but it's like, I don't know, it's like I just want to forgive every lost soul that's either been trapped in any of these places.
Right, because a lot you feel like maybe that's why they're trapped, because there's like this,
and it's like they
didn't have that chance to like repent or to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get it. Like to take accountability for their own, like, yeah, to be able to feel that forgiveness before they let go, which is sad, which is really sad. I do.
Yeah.
I'm just pausing that real quick. Yeah, I think it's, there's there's caution everywhere, and I have told I have told people that most places can be haunted.
Yeah.
Don't think that they can't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are more haunted than places.
That's true.
Okay.
People have
a lot of times people have somebody who likes to follow them home. So be more aware of cleansing yourself before you walk into your home.
Mm-hmm.
You know that whole like wiping your feet at the door, like do it in a spiritual way. Like just kind of think about that. Tell you like make it very clear nothing can follow me home, things like that. Especially if you feel like somebody's near you. I'm actually thinking I might do like a webinar on this because I feel like there's a lot I've been learning over the years. It might be time that I need to give a lesson on how people need to keep themselves spiritually safe.
Yeah, that's true, because it's like you never know who you're sharing your energy with, and it's like that person can be heavy, and that person can kind of like send their trauma to you when that's not yours,
right?
And it's like you're either trying to navigate, like yourself, trying to navigate your life, but it's like you feel something is dragging you down. And like now these days, it's like I have opportunities that kind of happen, and it's like I'm so grateful for the people that I have around with, because all they want to do is just uplift me. It's like this, like either they're fighting their traumas, they're not projecting it out on me, and it's like we're dealing with our shit, this is your shit. You have a reason to shine. You have a reason to kind of go through with your life and kind of like just be like, it's kind of like outgrow.
Outgrow what your experience. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
I feel that.
Like don't let our fears, our traumas kind of like be the reason of your downfall.
Right.
Because that's for them to kind of like just deal with. And
this is for me to overcome. Thank you for being a support, but like
I gotta do my shit. If I don't talk to anyone, it's for a reason, because I'm doing with my shit.
Yeah, and I've tried to tell people like we need to make it more. Oh my god, we need to make it more common for people to say, to be all like, you know what, I'm not in a good headspace, and if I'm around you, I can hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, like we need to make that more common, a more common discussion, and also make it more common to accept a no when someone says that they don't feel like being around. Like, you know what I mean?
They don't want to feel vulnerable talking to, like, just accept the no. Like they have a reason to.
Right.
And it's like, because if you don't listen to that no, then you're gonna get the lashback.
Right.
Which is like the words that are hurtful that you don't want to hear.
Yeah. And like, careful, because I already was telling you I was in a good space. Yeah, my mind's not where we need it.
Also, I was told also when I was younger, like I have a very sharp tongue as well too. So it's like.
Well, you were telling me you're working on certain things. Yeah. So yeah.
So I'm like, I know when I say certain things, it's like I have to catch myself. I have to be self-aware of, okay, like like if I'm gonna say something, I need to be more careful with what my speech is, and also like if I have to tell a truth about something, I'm gonna drop the truth wrong. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Be like, this is a truth that you need to hear. Because I used to sugarcoat. I used to kind of be like, I used to people please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not good either.
It isn't. And I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm done. if I gotta be a bitch, I gotta own the bitch, but I also gotta be humble about it too. Like, you know, just I gotta ground myself more too. Like, I can't be like, if I'm bitchy, it's gonna think of a state of ego, and I shouldn't be there. I should be like, no.
how am I going to present this to you with kindness and love at the same time?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to hurt regardless of how I say it, but
exactly.
yeah.
But it's up to you if you want to take it that way. That's on you.
Yeah,
Not on
but
me.
how am I going to present myself so I can make sure that it's received? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, understood. That's good. I'm happy we spoke. I'm happy we had this conversation. It's cool to see like your spiritual journey and get an understanding. I've been, again, a lot of my conversations they start off as conversations about things that people have experienced, but a lot of it winds up evolving around spiritual journeys rather than just the spooky side. Like,
yeah,
I am not lying. You go back to any of my podcasts. I think with the exception of one, everything has something to do with somebody's like spiritual walk too. So it's pretty cool.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
It's like it's kind of like reassuring too, because it's like we're like I'm on the same journey as others. You know, like we're still trying to like navigate our way of like through our own spiritual journey. You know, like that's why we're here on this plane. That's why we're here on this earth for, either to like help others, heal others, and kind of like, you know, just say like, you know, you're not alone, you're okay. We are here, like there are good souls here to help you, kind of guide you, and then once we kind of help you, it's like you take it from there. And then it's like, you know, we do our duties, that's it, we're here to just to help. And I feel like that's where I have, because I feel like that's how like I've given myself to others, but also give like the good side of myself to others, but I have been taken for granted on that too. So
yeah,
it's like,
and then you have to learn to like, so for us it's like it's scripturally it's told for us to guard our hearts, for that's where everything comes from, right? And it's true, every action in your life at some point starts here first, right? So if this is damaged, then everything else you do is going to be damaged, right? So with that, it's not selfish to guard your heart, which is in more later terms, or like more recent terms, know your boundaries. You know what I mean? Expect your boundaries, know how to read the room, read when it is that you're doing something that is gonna drain you, that is gonna like all those things that you were saying earlier, right? And yeah, you want to give your best to people, because you want to make we're always in a hope that what we give is what we're gonna get, and unfortunately it's not always going to be the case. But if we wind up allowing ourselves to be bitter because it wasn't the case, then we hinder ourselves from the more that we can become, by just staying in that constant state of, you know what, I'm going to forgive that happened, but now I know that person can hurt me, so I'm going to keep them at a distance, and I'm going to continue showing love to others the same way I normally would, like, you know what I mean? Showing care, showing helpfulness, whatever it may be.
And I always see good souls, I see like a light in others, even if they've been in the dark and everything too. Like, it's so weird. It's like,
no, I feel it.
It's like a feeling that I get, because it's like I can tell when someone's in a dark space, and there's like this there's like colors that I see, or like a vibe that I see, and it's what I feel too. It's like an aura type of thing. I've never understood like the whole like aura colors thing, but like when I'm painting, I make abstract paintings. I just throw whatever colors on there based on what I'm feeling. I don't think, I just paint. I don't think, cool. I just draw. And then when I see others, it's like I see and I feel like there is a light in them somewhere. It wants to be shown, it wants to be lit up, but it's like you kind of just have to like
it's been them. So like dimmed for so long that it doesn't know how.
You kind of have to like, you kind of have to just reach out the hand like, hey, you're not alone, you're okay, I see that light in you. You may not see it, but I feel it. And then once people are like around me, they're like, oh no, we see that light, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm happy that you do. And then I'll be around, but then I'll be like, okay, I've done my part.
Like, I've done my part, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta bounce.
I mean, there are parts, and then don't get me wrong, like, one of my exes is probably the prime example of this, but, like, he's very much a narcissist, unfortunately. But a narcissist is somebody who was damaged young. I think that needs to be understood, right? That is something that becomes a survival method at a very, very, very young age. Usually by 5 or 6 years old, it starts to become like and it's kind of like all they know. And unfortunately, like, once it is what it is, it can't really be changed. It can be redirected, but it can't really be changed. You know what I mean? And it still needs to come from somebody to become self-aware, which is rare. You're rarely gonna find a narcissist who is gonna become aware of who they are.
Yeah, okay? Unless you bring that awareness.
Right, and even if you do, they're gonna deny it for forever because they gaslight everybody and they gaslight themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to that, I remember seeing him very broken, and I saw, like you said, like, you see a light in somebody, and I remember falling in love knowing that he had that light. And he would show me that light, but then he would fall back into his ego, and he'd fall back into his pride, and he wind up being a cheater, a manipulator, an abuser, like everything, right? But unfortunately, I did see that part of him, so I understand what you mean. And you do get to that point where you're like, I'm going to try to bring this out in you, not because I feel like I meant to change you, but because I'm naturally a healer, which is probably what you are too here, you know?
Yeah.
And because you're naturally a healer, you want to fix what's broken. That's kind of your call, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a natural pull. People probably naturally cry with you on the subway or whatever, and they're like telling you like their life story because they all of a sudden feel like they can talk to you because you're a healer. Like that's gonna
that's good. Through that
yeah.
As well too, like on a taxi ride home from work from Sally Beauty, and this guy that I was talking to, like, his backstory was so sad. I was listening and I was like, sir, you need to get out of this mess ASAP. Because right now what I'm seeing in you is it's dragging you down. And I can tell you're a spiritual person. You're a good person with a good heart, with a messed up past. I don't want to, I feel like sometimes, like, I don't want to curse, but, like, you got a past that is pretty bad, and it's like, you need I'm like, just forgive that part of you.
Right.
First of all, forgive yourself because you still need healing.
Yeah.
That guy still needed healing. And I was like, you need to heal first. Don't go into these situations where you know it's going to hurt you.
Right. And
he was like, he asked me, he was like, can I give you my number? And I was like, I feel like this is the conversation you need. I told him that because I felt that, like, because it's like, I can tell when people are trying to text you, it's like, they want to pour everything out. And it's like, I feel like at that very moment, I feel like I need to put that stop.
Yeah.
There's something in that.
That's that boundary. Yeah, you go. Yeah, exactly.
And there's also that gut feeling that I feel because it's like, even from like.
Because some people wind up becoming, obsessed with the feeling that they can get from somebody because they finally feel like the healing is through that person only.
Yeah.
And that's also scary. Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I feel like this is a conversation you need, sir. This is what I'm here for. And he was like, thank you for listening to me. And I was like, I hope you have a blessed day. Yeah, that's all I
See, you're a healer. Now we know. Well, at any rate, I loved every part of this conversation, Pallak. I would love to have you any other time that you feel like you want to share anything else that you've been learning. Of course, we're here. Or any other experience you might have. Do you have any crazy dreams recently that you feel like you want to, like, share and you want to talk about? Just hit me up. We can plan that.
I got you. I mean, my dreams are I can talk to you about my shadow dreams too,
yeah, that's a whole other level. I think we need to have a dream topic. I think I need to get a few people out. I need to probably gather a group.
Oh my God, please.
Because I think there are a few of you that I've had that have talked to me about dreams that I think I would like to, like, gather in one group to talk about dreams, because I'm curious on how much is the same thing.
It could, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
pretty cool. Well, anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you, Miss Pallak. Bye, baby.
Good.
Oh, look, the little one knows that we're signing off.
Oh my God, hello.
She was all.
What year is this?
Uh-huh.
What month is this?
What year is this?
Oh, big stretch, Baba. Hanji, thank you, big stretchy babuta. Hanji, okay, thank
Ugh.
you, Nosy. Hello, babucho. Hello, babushka. Hello, choti auntie. Hello, mommy. Hanji, mommy. She's like my little mom. Like,
Yeah.
She's turning 7 years old soon. So she's
Aw.
basically she's like a mom now.
Yeah, she's at that age. Yeah. Yeah, she's at her age. She's in her prime.
Yeah,
It's about
in,
right.
Like prime 40s, like prime 50s. I'm like, I'm gonna be a mother.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So cute.
She's the only one that's been like grounding me, kind of just be like keeping me calm in my own chaos. Cause it's like I go to her and I'm like, "You're a rat."
Yeah, I've got my old man. I think I told you my Maltese. They call him my old man now.
And like their eyes are like her eyes is here and here, and I'm like, "Did you take some drugs that I don't know about?" Like, why you look like a crackhead, mama? You taking drugs?
She's on maybe.
And you want some?
You want some? I know where to find it.
Yeah, actually, she's obsessed with mangoes though. She smells mangoes, and it's like her eyes just go this, and she's like, "Give me the mango now, or I'm gonna kill you." And she's like a whole like mango face, yellow, and it's like.
Oh, that's funny. That's cute.
Sorry, I'm gonna bug you.
Well, again, thank you so much, Pallak, for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. But yeah, of course, I'm always here. If ever you feel like you want to share anything, you know where to find me.
I got you. I'll send you a DM.
Sounds good. Bye, sweet girl.
Bye bye. Have a blessed day.